Thanks, guys. Hey, everybody. Everybody calls me KG. I spent the last 3 years in the Chicago Cubs organization. I got to do a bunch of different things. I managed in Double-A in the Southern League, which was a great opportunity. I was also the organization's base running, base stealing coordinator. And the reason why they asked me to be their base stealing coordinator was because momentum steals became my thing in 2014. I became obsessed with it. I started following Matt Tallarico and Mike Roberts and all these guys that were teaching it. And then it became a thing because in Major League Baseball, the bases got bigger, the base lines got shorter, they instituted the pick rules, and they instituted the pitch clock. So all these organizations were like, all right, who's out there teaching this new school style of base stealing? And I was just sitting there ready to be snapped up. What I want to talk to you guys first is momentum steals at first base, because I think it's misunderstood. I don't think it's taught very well generally, and I don't think a lot of people are actually teaching it. And it's 4 different things that we talk about. Number 1 is technique. It's got to be perfect. As I used to say in the Cubs organization, técnica perfecto, atención a los detalles. So technique is first, then timing, distance, and anticipation. And you'll hear me talk about that throughout the presentation. Timing means off before pitcher leg lift. Distance means we have to know our distances. For momentum steals, in our case, we start with 6 feet and 12 feet. In anticipation means paying attention to patterns that the pitcher's showing you. So technique, timing, distance, and anticipation. The first thing I always do is help guys understand their distances, okay? Are any of you guys 6 feet tall exactly? All right. I am 6 feet tall exactly. So that always works. I never carry a tape measure around with me. All right, so be my partner. So from the front edge of this bag to where my head is, put that baseball down. All right, now help me up. So that's how many feet, guys? Thank you. Mike, one more time. So I'm gonna put my feet here. Take that, put it down by my head. All right, math majors, how far is that? 12 feet, right? So I gotta know where 6 feet is, and I gotta know where 12 feet is. The first thing is, I'm gonna teach these guys exactly how to get to 6 and 12 feet. So one of you guys at each of these 3 bases, okay? The reason why I have this cone here is we actually wanna take our leads a foot behind first base. And a foot behind first base because that's the dive back lane into first, and that's the stealing and sliding lane into second base right there. So I want to put these cones down to make sure they're taking that lead behind first base and not in front of first base. I'll show you guys the technique first, okay? First thing is left foot here, then square up, and I'm going to shuffle, shuffle, creep, left foot to 12 feet, and that's 12 feet right there. You guys understand? Now the whole time, make sure you have your eyes on where the pitcher would be. Because in this drill work, you'll see guys looking at their feet, looking at the baseballs, marking the distances. We got to make sure that they understand there's a pitcher there and he can pick any time. He doesn't have to wait for you to take your primary lead. Okay, go ahead, guys. Okay, make sure that left foot is at 12. Okay, go back and do it again. And the thing I want to encourage them to do is pay attention to the footwork they're using, because there's no marking on the field that tells you where 12 feet is in a game. We need you to be able to find 12 feet on any field, no matter where the cutout is. Maybe there won't be a cutout. Maybe we're in freaking Australia. Maybe we're in Japan. Who knows? Could be in the Southern League playing in Montgomery, Alabama. You got to be able to find 12 feet anywhere. So pay attention to your footwork, because after we do this a few times with our eyes open, we'll do it with our eyes shut as well. All right, keep going, guys. That cone is really helpful so that they remember to get a foot behind the back corner of first base. Okay, one more time. Pay close attention to your footwork getting out to 12, guys, because next you're going to do it with your eyes shut. Go for it. Yep, make sure that foot is exactly at 12. All right, good job, guys. All right, Caleb, you're going to go first. You ready to try it with your eyes shut? Okay, you guys can get in line behind Caleb. Don't open your eyes till I tell you to, okay? All right, go for it. Don't open them. Don't open them. All right, you ready to open them? Open them. Little short? Okay, next time get it right. Let's go, Mike D. Come on, baby. Don't open those eyes. I always make them take their sunglasses off, too, in case they're cheating. Open them. Perfect, let's go. What you got, Micah? Open them. Perfect, nice shot. Caleb, we just need you to be perfect right now. Come on, baby. Let's go, Caleb. There's a reason why these guys got into Andover. They're wicked smart. Nice job.
Yeah.
How about a round of applause? Hey, one thing that I did today is I was away from Andover for 3 years. I've never worked with these guys at all. And so I purposely brought with me guys I've never worked with so you can see what it looks like to put this in with kids who have no idea what this is about. This is the first time we've even talked about this, right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now that we got 12 feet, we got to get to 6 feet. So this baseball marks 6 feet, okay? And so initial footwork, left foot, square up, and for me, foot to foot, and I'm left foot from that back corner of the bag, right? Okay, now let's get to 6 feet. Got 6 feet, and we got 12 feet. Okay, go for it. Perfecto, one more time. And pay attention because you're going to do it with your eyes shut as well. You got to know where 6 feet is, guys. You got to know where 12 feet is. It's really important. Go for it. Okay, one more time. Go for it. All right, make sure you're at 6 now. Don't be too far. All right. Okay, Caleb, eyes shut. A little bit short, just like last time. All right, let's go, Magic Mike. Wow, Mike is money. That's a good job right there. Go ahead, Micah. Micah's perfect. All right, Caleb, no pressure. Let's go. Keep those eyes shut. Perfect. Nice job, Caleb. Round of applause, guys. Okay, a little bit more about, no, I'm going to save that. To be an effective base stealer, you got to be comfortable being off the bag. Being comfortable being off the bag means knowing the perfect technique to dive back if the pitcher picks. I call it surrendering to technique. If they pick, we don't panic because we know the technique. We've practiced it a million times, and it just becomes reflex. Nothing to think about. They pick, we use the proper technique, okay? So, Mike, I'm going to take you first, okay? I'm going to kick this out of the way, and I want you to get out to 12 feet. So I use a 4-step progression to teach perfect dive backs at first base. Number 1 is going to be a crossover with the right foot, screwing that left ball of foot into the ground, right there. Number 2, he's going to reach and extend with his right hand, like a mitten, you know, in the wintertime. That left hand is going to go out to the side with a bend in the elbow, right there. This is actually the first thing that hits the ground on a dive back. Number 3, and this is really important, we got to have a target 12 inches before the back corner of the base. That's where the hand needs to land. A really common mistake that we see with young base runners especially is they try to get the bag in the air. That's a long way to dive back in the air. Also, we want to be like an airplane gradually descending onto a runway, not your homeboy doing a belly flop into the pool during spring break in Myrtle Beach. Airplane gradually descending onto a runway. And the last thing is that hand glides into that back corner of the bag. Then we take left foot to right hand, show the third base coach the number of outs. We only show the third base coach the number of outs in our program. Anytime I'm giving signs and in drill work, I always make them show no outs because I'm an optimist, and no outs is better than 1 out or 2 out. Everybody got that? Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
We're going to do it with the count system, okay? First thing is number 1 with the crossover, okay? Number 2 is extend here. This goes out to the side like this. On 3, you're going to vault off that right foot and right here and glide into that base and just stay there after that. You ready? All right. 3. Nice. Now stay there. Stay there. Now left foot to right hand. Show the coach no outs. All right, Michael, let's go. You ready? Come on, Caleb, let's go. Good. Make sure we're working a foot behind the base, right? Okay, number 1 is the crossover. Go. Number 2, right hand extends. Left hand out to the side with a bend in the elbow. All right, on 3. Remember, you're going to land that hand 12 inches before the base. Vaulting off that right foot. Go. Good. Now, okay, guys, where's this hand?
Middle.
Where does it need to be?
Corner.
Where's your body need to be? Away from the tag, right? So this is the dive back lane right here. This is really important. Attention to detail. Okay, number 4. Okay, you ready, Mike? All right, let's do it. Okay, number 1 is a crossover with the right foot. Number 2, extend with the right hand. Left hand goes out. Nice, good job. On 3, you're going to land that hand 12 inches from the back corner of the base. This is your dive back. Okay, 3. Good, left foot to right hand. Show the outs. Good job, Mike. Now, none of these guys have done it, but there's a really, really common mechanical fault I see, especially with young guys on these dive backs. And that is extend, and then when it's time to dive, I call it putting the guns back in the holster. They'll go like this, and then extend again. Those guys, for some reason, always get their hands rolled up underneath their chests. Their hands hit the ground, and their chest come over the hands. Just extend it. This hand and this foot are connected. Boom. And then we're to that back corner and land on that hand 12 inches, all right? All right, very good, guys. We're going to get to the meat and potatoes here, okay? Now we're going to talk about technique for momentum steals. So, Mike D, you can get up here first, okay? So get out to your 6-foot primary lead. This is called a new school steal lead. This is for momentum steals. 6 foot is new school, 12 foot is old school. 12 foot is Vince Coleman, Ricky Henderson, Tim Raines, all those cats. New school, this is Volpe from New York Yankees and those guys who, the small amount of guys are doing the new school momentum steals. All right, a momentum steal vault is really, really specific in terms of the technique. And I don't like using the term vault because vault sounds bouncy. I used to call them jump lead steal breaks. I don't like the idea of jump. This is momentum steals. We're gaining momentum before a leg lift. And the first thing is a 6-inch jab with that right foot scraping the ground. So my left foot and your right, just like this. Yeah, just like this. Yeah. And then we're going to add a shuffle to it. So back to reset. Here we go. That's it right there. Everybody see that technique? Okay, this distance is really important. This is the 12-foot safety zone. And the reason why this is important is in Mike D's shuffle, he keeps that foot at or just shy of 12 feet. The safety zone meaning if he picks, if I shuffle and my foot is shy of 12 feet or at 12 feet, I can just jam on the brakes and use proper technique to dive back like we just demonstrated. If he shuffles and we're outside of 12 feet and they pick, we are toast. So this is your safety zone right here, okay? All right, go again, Magic Mike, and you guys be ready to go next. So get your 6-foot primary. Good, foot behind the bag, and I'll do it with you, ready? And stick it. Nice job, next guy up. Okay, get out to 6. Ready? And I always have guys mirror me. It's the best way to teach them proper technique. Ready? Good. Next guy up. Come on, Micah. Be neutral with the hands, please. Yeah. Right foot. Good. Good job, Micah. Okay. It's really, really important. Guys will forget about this part of the technique, the 6-inch jab step. Okay? And they'll just vault like this. So the reason why the 6-inch jab step is really, really important because it keeps you low to the ground. Low to the ground, under control, landing 50-50 is what we want because they might pick the first base. Okay? If we don't have that little jab step and we're up in the air, we're toast. We got to be able to extend if he leg lifts, and we got to be able to get back if he picks. Okay? All right, Michael, you can go first. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a steel break to it. Okay? So get your primary out to 6. And you don't have to go all the way to second, just 3-4 steps. Ready? Yeah. Here we go. Boom. There you go. Nice job. Next guy up. Let's go, Caleb. Okay, you ready? And go. Oh, that's perfect. Nice job. Let's go, Micah. Okay, look at me. 6-inch jab step. Ready? Good. Now, there's a really important part of this technique. I call it hitting the button. Okay, so here's my 6-inch jab. Then I shuffle, and this foot is in the air right here. If I catch leg lift, I hit the button and go. If I catch pick, I hit the button and return. If I get nothing, I hit the button and I bounce back to 6, reset. Everybody got that? Or if I get nothing, I can stay here, stick. If you got a really fast twitch guy who's a really good athlete, we can just go straight steal from right there if we want. There's a lot of different things we can do, but it depends on the kind of athlete that you have. Does everybody understand that? Okay, so now we're going to add to this progression a dive back off the shuffle. Okay, you ready, Michael? All right, let's do it. You guys are doing great so far. I'm very impressed. So I'm going to shuffle out with you, but I'm not going to dive back. But when you shuffle out here, Michael, dive back before. Hit the brakes, cross over, extend out to the side, Land that hand 12 inches before the back corner, like an airplane gradually landing on a runway. Then left foot to right hand, show the outs. Yep. All right. Ready? Okay. Back. Woo! Let's go. Just be careful not putting the guns back in the holster on the way back. Remember, when this right foot crosses over, that hand goes with it, okay? All right, you ready, Caleb? Let's do it. All right, ready? Okay. Back. Good. Another common mechanical fault that we see on these dive backs is we'll see kids that'll shuffle out. This is also just a straight dive back from 12 feet. On the way back, that right foot's got to get into the ground. You'll see kids do this. They'll just try to dive back off that left foot. It's too far. If we're trying to get that bag in the air, it's too far. If we're trying to vault off the left foot, it's too far. We got to jam that right foot into the ground on the way back, land that hand 12 inches before the base. If they pick, we don't panic. We surrender to technique. We give our best dive back and make them make a perfect pick throw and a perfect tag. And we're on that back corner of the bag. All right, let's go, Micah. Ready? Okay. Back. Nice job. You guys are so good. Fires me up. Let's go. Okay. The next thing we're going to add to this is some challenge. Once we get technique down, you'll see we got technique, right? Technique up perfecto. We also have distances down, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start to add some challenge. We're going to start to talk about timing. So timing, distance, and anticipation. So, Michael, I'm going to ask you to go first, okay? What I'm going to do, remember, it's about hitting the button. So when they get to the point where they hit the button, I'm going to give them a verbal. And it's going to be go or back. If it's go, you got a steel break. If it's back, you have a dive back. You guys doing okay with the dive backs? Hands and arms okay? Okay, let's do it. You ready? Okay, you're going to watch the picture now, right? I tell you what, I'll go where the picture is so you can watch me. Okay, and you can go whenever you're ready. Go. There we go. Keep coming. You watch me, Remember? See these guys, hey, without fail, whenever you go through this drill work, these guys are going to be watching the catcher or looking over here or something like that. Got to get them used to watching the pitcher the whole time they're taking that primary lead. The pitcher can pick any time. They don't have to wait for you to take your lead, right? So you got to focus your eyes on where they need to go. All right, it's on you. Go. Good job. The great thing about these shuffles, they are nice and under control. The analogy that I use for momentum steals is who here drives a wicked nice car? Anybody? Any humble brags? Ben, let's pretend that you drive a Ferrari, okay? You know what I'd be rolling around in? A Kia Soul. All right, your Ferrari is much nicer than my Kia Soul, right? But your Ferrari is stopped at a red light, and my Kia Soul, I come rolling into that red light. And when it turns green, I roll through the green and I beat you. So that's what we're talking about here. A little bit of momentum through leg lift is all we need. If we have perfect technique, we have timing, distance, and anticipation, everything falls into place, that's when you go. They have the green light. This is not off a sign from the coach because the coach doesn't know when timing, distance, and anticipation are going to fall into place. But if those four things fall into place, it's really freaking hard to throw you out. So all of our runners are green lit. Okay, you ready? Okay. It's on you, whenever you want. Back. Nice! Perfect. Okay. Now, I'm going to add some props. Red and green. You don't know which one I'm going to give. You don't know which hand it's going to come with. Could come here. Could come here. But again, I'm going to give it when the timing of hitting the button falls into place. We're trying to find drill work right now that gives them success. This is not easy. And this technique is not for all your guys. The guys that do it in my programs are the guys I designate as special ops guys. All of our guys can do it at second base. Not all of our guys can do it at first base. The first base guys are the guys that are good athletes. They are the guys who can move really well laterally. They can shuffle out, jam on the brakes. They can dive back. They can shuffle out and stop. They can shuffle back. They can keep going. They're the guys that are a little bit courageous as well. All right, they're not afraid of being off the base before leg lift. Okay? Okay. 5 minutes in the whole presentation? Okay, got you. Yeah, good. Okay. Ready? On you. Woo, let's go. Keep going. Wow, you guys are perfect. This is the best group I've ever worked with who've never done this before. Let's go, Micah. All right. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Man, time goes quick. That away. Good job. All right, I'm going to speed through this. Now, one thing we do is we change up the stimulus. We want to start to introduce challenge very, very gradually. So now, go means back and back means go. All right? And these guys are going to get blown up, but that's good. That's the idea. We're trying to make them uncomfortable here so they're more comfortable when they get in the game situation. All right, Caleb. Go means back, back means go. Go. Hey, good job. The great thing you did there, Caleb, you didn't panic. Like, you lunged out a little bit, but remember, he's got to make a perfect pick throw. We got to have a perfect catch, perfect tag. You're on the back corner of the bag in the dive back lane. Like, it's hard for them to make this play. They're not good at it. Don't give them too much credit. Okay, ready? Back. Oh, let's go. One thing I got to remind the guys, if anything goes wrong, if you get stopped, if you pause, if your technique is weird, if you have a weird thought, just shut it down and bounce back. Okay? Don't just go because you felt like you started to go, now I got to finish. You'll get blown up at second base. So know when to shut it down, okay? Back. Okay, keep going, keep going. Back. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Very nice. Okay, green means back, red means go. Wow, very nice. All right, Magic Mike, ready? Wow, you guys are good. One more, Caleb. All right, really good. All right, now I'm going to introduce myself as a pitcher. Same thing. You guys go when you want. I'm either going to pick or I'm going to deliver to home plate. Okay? And I come. Good. Next guy up. Quick, quick, quick. Quick, quick, quick. Good. Hey, make sure on that shuffle you're under control. Don't be too duro, too hard towards second base. Got to be able to land 50-50, hit the button and go, hit the button and back. Now I'm going to add something else. If I don't do anything, I want you guys to shuffle out and then shuffle right back to 6. Watch this footwork, okay? Right here, and then nice and easy right here. Then I'm going to leg lift, deliver to home, just get a one shuffle secondary. Sound good? Okay. I might do that right now. Very nice. What you guys see is I'm gradually introducing more and more challenge. So the great thing about this, guys, is we don't need a field. We don't need a practice time. I've done this in hallways at the school. I've done it in parking lots. I've done it in my backyard. No baseballs needed, no equipment, no practice time. So it's great. You can do this anywhere, anytime. And I promise you, it's a real lot of fun. The guys really like it. All right, ready? Good job. Keep coming. Good. All right. Ryan, how much time we got left? Good now? Okay, Q&A. All right. Thanks, guys, very much.
Guys, questions?
Questions, yeah. What's that?
Let's say he doesn't go.
Yeah.
So how do you do the secondary lead off?
Yeah, so, the question is, if he doesn't steal, how do we rock a secondary lead after that? So it's one of two ways. So if he shuffles back, right, and he has to wait a little while after leg lift, then he's just going to go one shuffle. The timing of the secondary is really, really important. The secondary is when we hit the button as well. You know, we talked about hitting the button on the steal break. We also hit the button on a secondary lead. This right foot is up in the air as the ball gets to the hitting zone. If he puts it in play in a manner that we should advance, we hit the button and go, right? If they don't put it in play, we hit the button and we're back. So the timing is really, really important. If the secondary comes a little bit late because you were in a little bit of a shuffle technique, right? That might be a 1 shuffle secondary. If the timing is really, really good and you can get 2 shuffles while hitting the button timing with that ball getting to the hitting zone, then it'll be a 2 shuffle secondary. That's a really good question. Yeah, timing is really, really important. And if we don't get 2 shuffles, in my mind, that's okay, because for me, it's more important to have momentum through the hitting zone than distance. That's the most important thing for me. That's a really good question. Yes? So the guys that can do it off lefties, and there are some, have like a Marvel DC Avengers superpower. Like, I don't teach it, okay? But there are some guys who I'm like, dang, bro, good job. We have a whole attack that we use against left-handed pitching. I have an instructional video that I put out about it. It's on my YouTube channel. I'm happy to send you the link. I'll make sure everybody has my contact info. But yeah, basically we're going one-way leads versus lefties. Then we go one way to run and hit or hit and run. Delay steal off a one-way lead because the timing is a little bit later and actually works really well off a delay steal. We're doing a lot, first movement. If they don't have a step back move, if they don't have a slide step move, if they're just lifting and reading, they can lift and read us, like stealing second base. So we have a whole attack against, I don't teach jump lead steals. I'm sorry, momentum steals against left-handed pitchers. It's a really good question. I think, yeah. 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 So we did this in the Southern League in AA in professional baseball. By the way, we did win the Southern League championship. We broke a 45-year drought. The manager, the last time the Tennessee Smokies won the Southern League was Tony La Russa. So we had a lot of success with this. And initially what teams were doing to try to defend against us is their catchers were doing drop glove picks. So when they would see us shuffle, catchers were dropping their glove and the pitchers were picking. Okay, so what we started to do, anything anybody does to us, I really pride myself on having something to do to them. So we started to do, we would give them shuffles with no intent to steal, and we would exhaust their picks. So we would just hit them with like this, and they would pick, hey, 1 pick, right? The other thing, some of our more athletic guys, they would just like jump in the air like this, get the catcher dropping the glove. There was also a kid who pitched for Montgomery, who I just happened to coach in the Cape Cod League. And I took him out to lunch one day. And I said, tell me about those drop glove picks. He's like, dude, I freaking hate those. I was like, why? He said, because I come set and I have no idea if I'm picking or if I'm going to the plate. I'm just like waiting for this catcher to drop his glove. I'm only worried about the quality of the pitch coming out of my hand. So the opposing pitchers freaking hate it. So teams that were drop glove picking against us, I loved it. I was like, sick, let's go. Because anytime the attention is on the base runner and not on the hitter at home plate, I feel like that's a win even if we don't get a steal. So really good question. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see that in professional baseball. And here's the one thing about professional baseball, like everybody loves it when this goes well. And then the one time it doesn't go well, everybody's like, oh my God, what are we doing? Right? And I'll be like, relax. I mean, we're stealing bases at a 93% success rate, guy. We can't just like lose our mind when something doesn't go right. Because every once in a while you're gonna get blown up. This is human beings out there playing baseball. Yeah. All right, great questions. Okay, can I just say one more thing? What's next? I mean, I did not show you the entire progression, guys. What's next is you keep introducing more challenge. So the next thing we would have done is we would have had a pitcher on the mound, and I would count out loud. 1, 2, he shuffles on 2. When I say 3, he leg lifts. That gives them a sense of timing. Then what we do is I go 1, 2, 3. He can pick or he can deliver to home plate, or he can just hold. And then from there, we start to work on bullpens. We get timing off bullpens. In Major League Spring Training, we used to go off live at-bats. Anytime you can get the opportunity to have guys facing like pitchers and practicing it, that's great. The other thing I love doing, and I brought to the Cubs organization, is I just had video of a pitcher on the mound either delivering to home plate or picking to first base. So before games in the Southern League, I'd have the guys in the dugout on my laptop just getting 5 minutes worth of repetitions against that night's pitcher. And it would either be a delivery to home plate or a pick to first base. So that's a lot of what the progression is. You teach timing, distance, and anticipation. Then you start to gradually unfold challenge until you're actually like facing real pitchers, and then you start to do it in a game. All right, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.